Alderwoman from the 1st, you're recognized on Resolution 254.
Madam President, members of the board, since you already read this, I would say don't read it again, but this is probably the hardest resolution I'm going to do today because I have such history with the Bosley family. I sat by Alderman Bosley #1 for 12 years and worked my way back to come back to sit with him. When I came back, I sat over where Alderwoman Slicer sat. Then I came and I sat where Alderman Gunther sat, and I came back to sit in this desk because that was my pile. I've known Alderman Bosley since he was a little pup, and his sister. So I want his resolution read again while I gather myself, because it's just so hard to be at the board without a Bosley, okay? Because that's been my 30-year experience. So please read it again. It's my endearing written point of appreciation and love for the relationship I've had with the Bosley family. I'd ask the clerk to read the resolution again, please.
Resolution 254, acknowledging Alderman Brandon Bosley for service at the Board of Aldermen. Whereas Alderman Brandon Bosley is leaving the Board of Aldermen after 6 years of service as the 3rd Ward Alderman for the City of St. Louis Board of Aldermen. In those 6 years, Alderman Bosley has served the 3rd Ward and the City of St. Louis with commitment and honor, serving on several committees, including the Chair of Public Employees and Vice Chair of Streets, introducing and passing several significant pieces of legislation that help better those communities and neighborhoods that he loved to serve. Whereas Alderman Brandon Bosley has enjoyed living and working in Hyde Park all his life, enjoying the perk of having Hyde Park at his front door. The sponsor of this resolution takes pause to acknowledge that Alderman Brandon Bosley is one of the most polite, gracious young men she has had the privilege of getting to know. And whereas Brandon Bosley was elected in April of 2017 to the Board of Aldermen as the 3rd Ward Alderman, replacing longtime 3rd Ward Alderman Freeman Bosley Sr., who retired from the position. In his role as Alderman of the 3rd Ward, he brought youthful, fresh views and new ideas while historically connected to his predecessor. This gave him the unique opportunity to try new ideas while having the connection to a historic perspective as he attempted unique solutions to long-term problems. And whereas Alderman Brandon Bosley was well known in the City of St. Louis for his part of being a long-time political family that includes his father, his mother, 3rd Ward Committeewoman Lucinda Frazier Bosley, a sister, State Representative Lakeisha Bosley, and Freeman Bosley Jr., former mayor of the City of St. Louis. However, what many people do not know was his commitment to our youth. Alderman Bosley had an annual camp out in Hyde Park with the young men in the community, giving them a chance to experience camping in their own neighborhood park. He also drove through his neighborhood counseling young people on the danger of violence against the community. And whereas Alderman Bosley sponsored legislation such Ordinance 71608, allowing a public vote for an additional sales tax of 3% on the retail sales of non-medical marijuana, Ordinance 71555 and 71610, pertaining to appropriation of portion of the fund received by the City of St. Louis under the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, and pay ordinances for many city departments and their employees. Whereas now that Alderman Bosley will be leaving the board, he will have more free time on his hands to spend with his family and his children while deciding the next step in his bright future. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that the members of the Honorable Board of Aldermen join the sponsor of this resolution to extend our best wishes to the 3rd Ward Alderman, Brandon Bosley, as he exits the Board of Aldermen and begin a new saga in his life. We thank him for his service to the board and the city and wishes to express to him and his family that we greatly appreciate him. Be it further resolved that the clerk of this Board of Aldermen is instructed to prepare an inscribed copy of this resolution to be presented to the 3rd Ward Alderman Brandon Bosley. Introduced this 17th day of April 2023 by the Honorable Sharon Tides Esquire, Alderwoman of the 1st Ward.
Alderwoman from the 1st, you're recognized.
Madam President, members of the board, I move that we pass this resolution in bank.
It's been moved by the Alderwoman from the 1st, seconded by the Alderman from the 9th, that we approve this resolution in bank. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Alderman from the 3rd, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you all. It's a beautiful day. would first like to thank our staff members. We'll try to get through this without shedding a few tears, you know. Yeah. So, all right. This is pretty bittersweet, of course. Yes, y'all gotta excuse me. I help a lot of people. To Ms. Davis, when we first started, there were people, man. Thank you. You said what? I'm gonna knock it out. I appreciate it, man. You got you. You got you. All right. So we had a lot of people that used to hang out on the same corners in our neighborhoods. We know that getting jobs is important. Sometimes we don't know who we impacting. Oh, man. Just want to say to Ms. Davis, we reduce crime. We got young men right now building a soccer stadium opposed to shooting up the neighborhood. You can go down the street and see these corners clear because of the connections that you have and we've made. We've been able to take people out of poverty, folks who didn't have direction, and give them a direction in life. Those are experiences that they're just immeasurable. All we know, all I know is service. I've been knowing Alderwoman Davis since I've been a kid. I've watched the countless hours that nobody sees get put into trying to help individuals. The amount of times I've called this woman and just asked her for direction that she's been able to give me has saved so many lives. So many different young men have been affected, and women. To Alderman Kennedy, who's now our clerk, it's like the father of the Black Caucus, and the board in general. You've been that soft voice and stern voice that I've needed, direction within this board when we didn't have any, when we were looking for direction as a caucus and as a people. You kept us as a group being mindful of the decisions that we made, decisions that we make every day, and the people that we represent, and how they're counting on us to be as one. To Alderwoman Pam Boyd, who became our chairwoman, you did an excellent job following up behind Alderman Kennedy. You held us together at times where it seemed like things were falling apart. We all don't know exactly all the time how we've been impactful sitting in all these meetings, meeting after meeting, talking after talking after talking, but these are times where you're actually able to see the results. Dan Gunther, man. Dude. That father and son camping in the park, bro. Yeah. Them young men got jobs right now, bro. They come out and fish every summer. And they actually take it home and cook it, man. We actually be seeing them out there grilling on the block. You came out there every summer with us and created experiences for our youth when we are talking about the importance of them having something to do. You don't get paid to do that. That's out of your heart, man. You come from your side of town to where we always talking about we having these separations. And, you know, you brought a bridge to that divide. I can't thank you enough for that. Those kids can't thank you enough for that. Man, you have to come back so you can see them. Appreciate you, brother. My first time I was elected, Kara Spencer, Dan Gunther, I believe Christine and Gracia, a few other ones invited me to lunch. Went to Kara's house. We all talked about the state of the city, what it is that we wanted to do, how we can be impactful. We even talked about our differences. Appreciate you, bro. Love you too. I just want y'all to know that I never forgot about that. You know, it shows your willingness to work with everybody and trying to figure out what direction we were all trying to go in, what direction we needed to point the city in. You invited everybody to your house, Kara, in your home with your son and your dog and your chickens. First time I saw chickens at somebody's house up close, it was pretty cool. But, you know, those are experiences that make this board special, make our experiences special, make the people here special. We argue with each other, but we still have these unique experiences that make up the different ideas that we do have of each other and how we represent our neighborhoods. Regardless of what arguments that I've had with you all, I want y'all to know I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate what you brought to this board. I appreciate what you brought to my life. Alderwoman Evans and Laura Keys, throughout COVID, when we were all out here starving, fighting over toilet tissue, they came and grabbed food and brought it out to their constituents every single week that were coming out to our food drives and made sure their constituents got carrots, food. I can't name all the stuff right now, but that is just amazing to see people go out of their way to take care of people, you know, and those are the things that you remember. That's what makes me emotional, because I know that made a difference for all of our elderly folks that weren't able to get out there. We did. And, you know, having this type of a family, knowing that you can call on people when things are going bad, knowing who to call, right? knowing you have some authority to be able to do something about what's immediately harming somebody else. Those are the things that you miss. Those are the pieces that you wonder to yourself, what am I going to do about Mr. Billingsley right now who needs a sink? Sounds small, but he can't cook. It's a lot. All right, Alderwoman Carol Howard. I'm going to say it because I have to. I appreciate it. Okay, thank you. We got to be all the way 1,000. This is my last time to speak. I know I talk a lot, y'all, but listen. I don't. Sometimes we are very divided, and for a long time in history, we always have these thoughts, or the old conservatives are like this or that. Alderwoman Carol Howard, Beth Murphy, former President Vollmer, these individuals brought a perspective to the board that wasn't conservative or progressive or minority driven. It was one where they saw something that, to me, rang a bell in their history and their plight that said we probably should try something different this time. You could always count on Carol Howard, Beth Murphy, and President Vollmer. If they saw that there could be something different that potentially could change the way that history has been, they were willing to vote on that. I appreciate you all being that extra voice that we can call on when we knew that we had a divide. Hey, what do you all think about this? Could you vote on that? That is. Thank you so much, Alderwoman Howard, for that experience. Thank you, Alderwoman Beth Howard. Thank you, President Vollmer, for that. Former President Vollmer, for that. I got to say it like this, but because I'm a young man who grew up in neighborhoods where, there was always the talk about the white man this, the white man that. You showed me that the white woman and the white man ain't always like this or that, and that's just being real. You are, a woman who was able to say, I think black people deserve this or that, and that resonated with me. And I can go back and watch plenty of videos where, you've blown my mind and took my perspective, and well, not my perspective, but made me view things in a different perspective. So I appreciate that. Thank you to Lisa Middlebrook. I really appreciate you and your family, and I've come down to a few of your community meetings and talked to your people out there. You all have always been and always will be a good piece of history here for our city, and I appreciate working with you. To you, Alderman Page, I know we've had what I initially thought were differences was in the Board of Aldermen, but it wasn't. It was just a different perspective. And I appreciate being able to work with you and being able to speak with you on multiple occasions and learn your viewpoint, so I can better know how to connect with individuals who have different viewpoints. I'm not a representative downtown, never have been able to have the pleasure of doing so. So being able to pick Alderman Page's mind and understand more so how to represent individuals from where it is you see, from your perspective, it was appreciated. Thank you, sir.
Same here, by the way.
Thank you. I'd like to thank my mother. Would not be here at all without my mom. Thank you very much, Alderwoman. I mean, not Alderwoman, but pretty much committee woman Lucinda Frazier. Half of the things that we do wouldn't be possible without strong women supporting us, and my mother is my strongest supporter in anything that I've been able to do. My constituents, all the residents that we've been able to serve, I wouldn't be able to stay organized without the women that support me within my life. So I really, really appreciate them. Linda Prima as well, my sisters, every one of them. I'd like to thank my dad for everything that he's done and preceding me for being here. I'd like to thank my brother as well. To the staff members, once again, I kind of broke up in the beginning. Listen, you all do an amazing job doing what you all do. All the headaches that we give you, you all not being divisive, reading all these board bills, seeing us argue with each other. Y'all are amazing people. Thank you all. I'm going to miss being greeted with a smile and a hug. And every single time, knowing that I can call one person in this world who's going to answer the phone, not only because you got the job to answer the phone, but you know, you all care about what you do, you know, and man, it's always greeting with a smile. Hey, what's up? What you need, Alderman? Like, thank y'all so much, man. And thank you for not being stressful and not stressing us out with all the stress that you all deal with. I know you all deal with a lot, and it's difficult sometimes watching us argue with each other, and you all do the best that you can to stay non-biased and all of this. So I appreciate that, and we do recognize that. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you, Alan Jankowski. You always got the grass cut for us when we called. Constituents stayed off of me for that. Thank you. I know there's a lot to do, but thank you. I appreciate you, Alan. He ain't here. I just wanted to let him know. Thank you. I'd like to thank Donald from BPS. You got a whole lot of our projects done. You did the best that you can with the workload you had. We should have had 2 or 3 more in there for you, but, you know, 2 or 3 more people doing that job. But man, you did excellent for what you were able to do, the resources that you have. Thank you so much. And I appreciate Rich Bradley as well for lending him as much as he did to our communities and letting them get out, drive the war with us. I'd like to thank Randy Breakfield as well. That man, thank you so much. During that food drive, we had thousands. We were out there Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, sometimes 4 days a week. They would bring that food out. It'd be boxes along the curbs for days because there was so much food outside. And he would come as soon as we called and get that stuff cleaned up so we wouldn't have rodents, rats, mice, and just debris all over the sidewalk. And every time we called, he had those crews out there. So thank you so much, Randy. Thank you, the crews that were out there putting in that work. Our people were able to eat in a sanitized area and come back the next week and know that they're coming back to a place where, we don't have mice and, all those different bugs out there. So thank you so much, Randy. I'd like to thank Arnold Mitchell from Board Up. I have one of the largest wards in the city that had so many different buildings that needed to be torn down and board up. Every time we called Mr. Mitchell, his Board Up crew got out there and got it done. Once again, I'm not going to have a chance to say all this to all these people. So as we transition and a new order people get in, watch this video so you know who to call. I'm for real. These people get it done. Our workers will knock this stuff out, especially if they have more hands on deck. So, Mr. Mitchell, thank you. And to your crew, I wish I knew all the members' names. Thank you all so much for the work that you put in. Frank Oswald, every time I've called Frank, he picks up the phone. He gets the job done, helps out with constituents when they need help. Purpose, like Mr. Such and such. We have people's houses that are falling apart. Frank has always worked to try to figure out what we can do to help a person, not put them out of their home. And that goes such a long way in areas where the banks are not loaning to us. So thank you so much to the building division, every single worker in the building division. We appreciate you. I appreciate working with the Hubbards. Thank you so much, Shameen. This experience has been amazing. Known your family since I was a child as well, so it's been an amazing experience working with you and just being able to serve with you and feeling the energy that you have. It's something I'll be able to take with me everywhere that I go. I think Laura Keys, Norma Walker. Did I get Tina Pill? Thank you, Norma Walker. I appreciate you. It's amazing working with you through this process. It's been good being able to fight for the city. It's been fun. It's been absolutely amazing. I appreciate you as well, Tina Pill. It's an amazing experience working with you. Got you? Okay. All right. Make sure I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate you as well, Annie. And Sharon Tyus. Sharon Tyus is like my second mom, as well as Alderwoman Davis. When I say this woman is a plethora of information, there is absolutely nothing I wouldn't do for Alderwoman Tyus. If you all knew, and I'm sure we all feel the same way, if y'all knew how much this woman actually loves the people that she serves, and I love these people as well. It's the reason why she's yelling and screaming and doing the best that she can to get her point across, because it's difficult inside when you got this raging beast trying to show you, look, you don't see this, you can't see this, look at it. And you have to do it in such a calm manner so somebody can take what it is that you perceive to be something that's difficult and hurting our people and creating obstacles. And it just, some folks just cannot see it. So, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, this experience has been amazing working with people who've seen me grow up as a kid, and I've been able to come into this position and learn from them and do the best that I can with the position that I've been blessed to hold, blessed to have. This is more than I could have asked for. The people that I've been able to serve are amazing folks. You all are amazing people. This is an amazing resolution, Alderwoman Tides, man. This is more than bittersweet for me. I'm actually, and I gotta say it, I'm hurting on the inside. Not because of the job, it's because I love what I do. I actually love helping my people, regardless of who feels like they didn't get served. I love this, you know, to the next person that's coming up, please treat our people right. I know you will. We all just continue to do the best we can to protect our people. I appreciate y'all coming up and being there for me too, man. Like I appreciate you all. Thank y'all so much. This is. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but I just want to say I love y'all. I will be around if I can ever be any assistance to anybody. I'm here for the long haul. I live here. Thank you all. And thank you all.
Excellent, man.
Alderwoman from the 1st, you're recognized.
When I was gerrymandered and racially gerrymandered, this didn't hurt as much as this does. I look at Mr. Taylor over here. He was my constituent, moved to the 4800, 4700 block of Maffett to be with me, and now I'm getting him back. But as I said before, I have had a relationship with the Bosley family since before I came to the Board of Aldermen, when Freeman Senior sat right there. And I would call him because we were both avid non-smokers. And I was an attorney with the Public Defender's Office. And I would call him and say, can you get another bill passed about that smoking? And then when I got here, as I said before, and then he left, that was hurtful because I came back here. That was my yin and my yang right there. If I started a sentence, he could finish it. And there's all kinds of tapes of things that we did on this Board of Aldermen. You all think you give the young Alderman Bosley a hard time, but Alderman Bosley and I could make this board go to 5 or 6 o'clock if we wanted to. Now that was the person. Now this person right here, I have met him, Alderman Bosley, since he's been a little bitty person, and his sisters, okay? They've been around my office since I was the 20th Ward Alderwoman. So when he replaced his father, I was so proud. Just like I tell his mother and father all the time, these are my other children I didn't have, and I will look after them. When I was off the board, anything I needed done, I would just call Alderman Freeman Bosley, and he got it done. I want to say, and I extend that to you, things that you need, I will try to get it done. I appreciate you. People do not know what a committed young man you are. I got into the most arguments with people about you and the Alderman from the 9th because they were worried about how you dressed. I don't care how you dress, okay? I don't care. I care what's in your heart and what you're doing for people. So when I grew up, we were a natural. And my mother said, why you do that to your hair? Okay, because we can. That's why. I don't care. So I'm appreciative that what you brought was a love for the people. Brandon, Alderman Bosley, being out there in that park, and I own property in Alderman Bosley's ward, because it still is today. And I brought him over there to see it, and when I talk, he knows when I talk about being a good, responsible landlord, I am. And I keep my property as nice as anything. But just seeing the things that he does, because we get his mail in his community and how much he cared, and then just being out there, seeing him drive around and counsel the young people. I first heard about him off the board. One of my tenants had a flat or something happened to their car, and we live across, my building's across the park from him. And my tenant came back and said, do you know this young man named Brandon Bosley? He is the nicest young man I have ever met in my life. He is so manable. Credits to your parents. Credit to you, of course, but to your parents. All of their children are manable and believe in respecting people. You as a young man will walk them women to their cars. And I know people think, you don't need that. But for me, my eyes go misty thinking about that. Because when I see what the other young people are doing out here, and then I see you, and then I saw your name being libeled and slandered in the paper. And I told Alderman Page that was because they knew you had such a chance of winning. They had to libel and slander you. I had the same thing in my race. And people are going to pay for that. If you libel and slander me, we go to court, and then you better either say that wasn't true or we're going to spend a lot of money. So I saw that happening, and I knew that was all geared up. And people think that that's funny, and that's okay. That is not okay. You are a fine young man. I don't intend for you to go away, and I know your family doesn't intend for you to go away. Lick your wounds, because that's what I did. I went and shut the door when they gerrymandered me, because I didn't lose. I got the highest return rate, the second in the city, when they tore my ward up. Racist Francis Slay, racist Francis Slay. Oh, did I say racist Francis Slay? Oh, let me say racist Francis Slay, because everybody now who's on that board who voted for it says, we didn't want to do that. Francis did that. They give him up easily. And he whines about me talking about his racism, because he's a racist. When you tear up something that's good in a community, instead of adding to it, politics is about addition, not subtraction. All of these people, oh, well, the board lost population, therefore it should go down. The board is based on Congress. Congress keeps the same amount of people, no matter if it's more or less in the United States. They just redistribute it. So that whole fake thing they put out there is not based on anything. And then when you go and look at what they have, the aldermen they have out in the county, they have one for every 500 men or every 700 men and women. And people who have not represented North St. Louis do not understand how hard it is when you got a group of people who a lot of things they don't have or have been purposely withdrawn from them. And then you have to answer questions that other people don't. And I was always very privileged because I had a kind of privileged ward. It's hard for you. It's hard for you as a young man. Okay, but my ward, the reason why people haven't been able to beat me because they come with that whole everything is the same. And my people say, and it's not that we're not all black, but we're not all monolithic. And my appreciation for you, and I told you this before, when we came to the caucus, you brought a youthful perspective. And you didn't be quiet just because we were like, You're like, no, but see, you need to listen. And I use marijuana as one of the things. We just couldn't hear marijuana because I told you, I've been told by my mother, you better not get picked up. And we live right down the street from the police, because if you do, I'm not coming to get you. When I went to the police station the first time as a lawyer, I called my mother and said, I'm so scared because I'm in the police station. She has made me so scared that I don't want to be there as a lawyer. And so I thought marijuana was, that's illegal. And Big Pharmacy told us that's not good. And so that's what I thought. And you came and said, hey, look at this. And this is what we need to be doing. And we can make money and we can do things this way. I hope, since you carried that bill, that the mayor puts money into your ward from those taxes, that she puts things in your ward, and I will push for that, to do things with the youth there. To raise another generation to be in public service, because I know your family has been in public service, and when you're in public service, it's an expense, and it's an expense to your name, especially when people try to slander you. And so you are a wonderful young man. I claim you as part of my son. I told your mom that the other day. Anything that I can do for you, I will. I will call you up and say, hey, Brandon, come on, you want to come over here and talk to a group of young people in my ward? Hey, there's going to be another place for you. And this is what happens when people think one solution fits all. It does not. Maybe it fits the Central Quarter, maybe it fits South St. Louis, but this solution does not fit North St. Louis. And it's cost us an awful amount of seniority, experience, and commitment. And there are people who want the Clay name and the Bosley name to be gone. It's not going to be. Neither is the Tyus, by the way. Leroy Tyus was one of the first black state reps in the state. Not my daddy, no matter how many times people say it, not my daddy, my grandmother's cousin, but there are family legacies that are for a reason, and you go on and you carry that on for a reason, because you have been taught that public service is a good thing. And so when I see you, as I said, with all your dreads, I love them. With your hair spiked, I love it. With your hair braided, I love it. Now, I wasn't for the blue jeans and the board because I'm old, but I love that too, okay? I'll tell you, but I just love who you are and your personality. Good morning, Queen. How you doing? Do you need to be walked to the car? You need to be teaching you need to have a class for you to teach young people that manners are not over, that manners is something good. That manners are something good. that is a good way to interact with people. And instead of all this anger, that there's another way to show and express your disappointment instead of getting out there and doing anger and violence. And you do that all the time. And so, again, I will miss you sorely. I love your dad. I got to speak to him the other day. Your sister called me, got to say hi to him. I love you. I love your sisters. I love your mom. I love your family. I even like your brother, even though we fought along. But when he got here, that's actually why I came to be at the Board of Aldermen, so he could be the first black mayor. So I look forward to working with you in a different perspective. And then when you get ready to come storming back into politics like I did, I'm there for you. Thank you very much.